We are off and running today with Dan Deming of KKM Financial here for the Trader Rundown, and we have a lot to get to.
Yeah, busy week.
Starting with that blowout jobs number that came out on Friday. So technically, what does this do to the market?
Well, it's put the market in a position now when you look at the SPX. Last May 2015, 2131 was the all-time high. So you go back, we're basically less than 0.5% away from there right now, Angie. So we're seeing this market regain all the value that had occurred the last 2 weeks. And certainly when you look at the S&P, that's kind of leading the way. Tech sector dragging a little bit. The Dow is right on course as well.
Yeah, all those gains lost from Brexit are back, Dan. And now we have earnings coming up this week. With Alcoa reporting today, the big banks will be coming in with earnings this week. So what will that mean to traders?
Yeah, I think that's going to be the feature this week when you look at, couple that with actually some news items as well. So we do have a very busy week when you look at PPI, CPI, retail sales coming out as well.
Retail sales.
Yeah, so it is interesting that number put some of these names kind of back on the board. And what I mean by that, when you look at what happened with the unemployment number, much stronger than expected, we did see the banking sector bounce back a little bit on last Friday. So I think that will be something that traders will be keying on this week. Will that continue now that there seems to be at least a little bit of a thought that, the Fed's on hold, but these numbers were a little bit better than expected. So possibly that could push the rate environment a little bit more towards a movement, not missed anytime soon, but brought it back on the table.
Yeah, we might get a Fed move after all. And are banks still a place you would put some money?
It's hard to say. I think there's other areas, Angie, right now that are more stable when you look at the areas that have continued to outperform this year. And the consumer staples area is one area that continues to show very, stability, through all of this. I mean, if you're looking longer term, then possibly. But if you don't like volatility, then you've seen some of these other areas diminish some of that volatility that the market's realized over the last 6 months.
People are still out there spending some money, and it's going to be really curious to see how this retail sales number comes out this week. In the meantime, we're also going to hear from China about the Chinese GDP. What's the expectation there, and could that be a potential market mover as well?
It could be. We have a couple of things coming out from the Asian Pacific area over the next couple of weeks, and that being one of them. Bank of Japan has a big announcement at the end of the month as well that could influence the markets when they get through their announcement as far as what types of potential liquidity provisions they might be adding to the system as well. So yes, I think that you're going to have some influence from overseas continue to be a theme under this market, but the focus really now will be back on the earnings cycle here in the United States.
Thank you, Dan. Have a great trading week.
Thanks, Angie. Thanks for having me.